So this one was already very famous in fragrance community, and recently Mancera released a flanker to Cedrat Boise, which is Cedrat Boise Intense. Now let's see if this can actually replace the original one. Welcome to yet another video of Fragrance Jam, and today I'll be talking about Cedrat Boise Intense. Now, the original one, which is Cedrat Boise, is already very famous in fragrance community because it is said to be an alternative. Now, I don't think so that it is an alternative, but it shares a few notes with Aventus. So people actually tend to follow this thing where everyone is calling it an alternative of Aventus. Yes, the notes can be similar, but it doesn't actually mean that the perfume is a clone. Now they have actually released the intense version of Cedrat Boise. Now the original one was actually pretty much intense because it was a beast mode fragrance. Now people are saying that it is reformulated, but even though I had the newer version of Cedrat Boise, it never actually made me realize that it is not a beast mode thing, because just 2 to 3 sprays and it was literally radiating the citrus thing that it is supposed to do. Now this was available recently and sadly I was not able to get it. However, one of a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Harsimran Singh, sent his bottle and he asked me to review it and compare this one with the original one. Very kind and generous of him, so thank you so much. Talking about the bottle, of course it has no difference. Yes, it comes in this magnetic thing because all the latest stuffs are magnetic, but those were awesome actually. The screw cap ones were something that you can refill. After this is done, this is done. You cannot refill it. If you see the notes, this is what the note structure looks like for both of them, and there are a lot of changes. The cedar wood here is replaced by Cambodian oud, which is something different, and the fruity notes are removed. Now this is actually something unique because I didn't actually go through the notes. I just compared them side by side, and the first thing that I observed was Cedrat Boise was more fruity and it was more bright and it was more light, and the intense version, of course, as the name goes, is more intense. It is not that fruity. Now I really don't know if you take this as a good news or bad news, because for some people the fruitiness is something which they look for, and for some people the fruitiness is actually very much zingy in Cedrat Boise. Now I'll just spray it on the strip and I'll compare it with the original one. Now here is Cedrat Boise Intense and here is Cedrat Boise. So the very first thing that I noticed is that the previous version, the original version, was more fruitier, of course, as suggested by the notes thing. Now this is more dense, dark, and personally to me it feels like all the ingredients are wrapped tight together and kept in a box. On the other hand, the original one is like very much citrusy, airy, and it blooms. This is what I feel. So the main difference that you'll notice in both of them is that this one is more fruity and this one is more woody and dark. Now it doesn't mean that this is different. The entire DNA of Cedrat Boise is based on the original one, so you will get that old Cedrat Boise DNA, but just minus the fruitiness and with added Cambodian oud. Now I tried very hard, but sadly I was not able to detect the Cambodian oud, and I know what Cambodian oud smells like. Even the minute traces are not present here. I don't know why and how they have mentioned the Cambodian oud, because I gave this a very good wearing, almost 7 to 8 hours, and it still wasn't showing me any sign of Cambodian oud. So Really don't know, I'm confused, but I can feel that this has more leather, and that is what makes it more dark. Both of them performed very good because both of them gave me 7+ hours of longevity. The sillage of the original one was better as compared to the intense one, but that is an obvious thing because the fruitiness is gone. So that is what added more sillage to the original one. Now if you ask me which one is better, I'd say if you are into more citrusy stuffs, more fruity stuffs, then go with the original one. And if you are into more dense and dark stuffs like me, who is okay if the citrus thing is gone, then you can go with this one. Most of the people, and I really mean it, most of the people will not be able to differentiate between this one and this one. So the difference here is only for the people who are into fragrances and who can differentiate fragrances, because a person who is new to these stuffs and who is not interested in these stuffs will not be able to identify the difference. For them it will be the same. It doesn't matter to the other person whether you're wearing Cedrat Boise or Cedrat Boise Intense. So for a third person, doesn't actually matter. For you, if you are into more fruity stuffs, then get this one. If you are into more mature stuffs, I'll say, or more intense stuffs, then go with this one. So this is it regarding Mancera, Cedrat Boise and Cedrat Boise Intense. If you haven't subscribed my channel, do subscribe. It really keeps me motivated. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care and have a great day.